1 lakh portable oxygen concentrators to be procured through the PM CARES Fund and DRDO to set up 500 medical oxygen plants within 3 months under the fund. The oxygen concentrators and PSA plants will greatly augment the supply of oxygen near the demand clusters. Prime Minister reviews COVID-related operations by the Indian Air Force. Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhaduria briefs the Prime Minister on the efforts being undertaken by the IAF to help in the COVID-19 related situation. IAF has ordered 24/7 readiness of the fleet for the operations. COVID vaccination in the country reaches 14.78 crore doses. More than 25 lakh doses administered in 24 hours. Registration for vaccination opens from today for all above 18 years of age. Registration can be done from the CoWIN portal Arogya Setu app or Umang application. Support flows from outside India to help fight the testing times of COVID pandemic. The IAF airlifts oxygen containers from Dubai, Singapore and Bangkok. Canada offers help of $10 million through Red Cross. Bhutan to provide oxygen. Taiwan to send oxygen generators. More states impose stricter measures to control the spread of COVID-19. Prohibitory orders imposed in Karnataka till the 6th of May. Section 144 in Bengaluru. Corona curfew imposed in parts of Haridwar till May 3rd. The final phase of assembly elections in West Bengal to be held tomorrow. Polling to take place in 35 assembly constituencies from 4 districts. 84.77 lakh voters to decide the fate of 283 candidates. .4 magnitude earthquake shakes northeastern parts of India. Epicenter of the quake identified as Sonitpur in Assam. The quake causes damage to property but no loss of life reported. Tremors felt in parts of Bihar, West Bengal and parts of Bangladesh. In international news, the US has eased mask guidelines, citing a stunning progress in the fight against coronavirus. Fully vaccinated people now allowed outdoors with no masks when not in a large crowd. Namaskar and welcome to the news. My name is Mark Lynn. Let's begin with our top story. In a significant intervention to augment oxygen supply, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sanctioned the procurement of 1 lakh portable oxygen concentrators through the PM CARES Fund. The decision was taken at a high-level meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss the measures needed to improve liquid medical oxygen supply for COVID management. The Prime Minister instructed that these oxygen concentrators should be procured at the earliest and provided in states with high case burden. In addition to the earlier sanctioned 713 PSA plants under the PM CARES Fund, 500 new pressure swing absorption oxygen plants have been sanctioned under the PM CARES Fund. The PSA plants will augment the supply of liquid medical oxygen at hospitals in district headquarters and Tier 2 cities. These 500 PSA plants will be established with the transfer of indigenous technology developed by DRDO and CSIR to the domestic manufacturers. Establishing PSA plants and the procurement of portable oxygen concentrators will greatly augment the supply of oxygen near the demand clusters, thereby addressing the current logistical challenges in transporting oxygen from plants to hospitals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today reviewed the COVID-related operations of the Indian Air Force. Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhaduria called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and briefed him on the efforts being undertaken by the Indian Air Force to help in the COVID-19 related situation. Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhaduria informed Prime Minister Narendra Modi that the IAF has ordered 24/7 readiness of the entire heavy lift fleet and substantial numbers of medium lift fleets to operate in a hub and spoke model to rapidly meet all the COVID-related tasking across the country and overseas. The Prime Minister stressed on the need to increase the speed, scale and safety of operations in transporting oxygen tankers and other essential material. PM spoke about the need to ensure that the IAF personnel engaged in COVID-related operations remain safe from infection. He also spoke about the need to ensure safety of all COVID-related operations. Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhaduria informed that the IAF is deploying big as well as medium-sized aircraft to cover all terrains. He briefed the Prime Minister about the dedicated COVID air support cell set up by the IAF to ensure faster coordination with different ministries and agencies to COVID-related operations. The Prime Minister inquired about the health of the IAF personnel and their families. The Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhaduria apprised him that near saturation vaccination coverage has been achieved by the IAF. A liberalized and accelerated Phase 3 strategy of the COVID-19 vaccination will be implemented from the 1st of May 2021. In the Phase 3, the National Vaccine Strategy aims at liberalized vaccine pricing and scaling up of vaccine coverage. The registration for the next phase of the COVID-19 vaccination drive for citizens above 18 years of age opened today. Eligible citizens will be able to book their slots online via the government's CoWIN portal or the Arogya Setu app that was launched last year. Until now, only people above 45 years of age, healthcare and frontline workers were allowed to take the vaccine. However, from the 1st of May onwards, all adult citizens will be able to get vaccinated. The Maharashtra government has announced that it will administer vaccine doses against COVID-19 for free to all its citizens between the ages of 18 and 44 in the third phase of the vaccination drive that begins on the 1st of May. The decision was taken during the Maharashtra cabinet meeting. The Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said that the State Health Department will announce the detailed vaccination program and citizens will be informed about it in advance. Well, India's daily COVID cases continue to rise. The Health Ministry reported a single-day record 3,293 COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours. As per the data released by the Health Ministry, 3,60,960 new cases were registered in the last 24 hours. 10 states, including Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and Rajasthan, reported 73.59% of the new cases. Maharashtra has reported the highest daily new cases at 66,358. It is followed by Uttar Pradesh with 32,921 and Kerala reported 32,819 new cases. India's total active caseload has reached 29,78,709. It now comprises 16.55% of the country's total positive cases. The national mortality rate has been falling and currently stands at 1.12%. As we said, 3,293 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 14.78 crore today. Cumulatively, 14 crore 78 lakh 27,369 vaccine doses have been administered through 21 lakh 18,435 sessions as per the provisional report till 7 a.m. today. More than 25 lakh vaccination doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The government has been leading the fight against COVID-19 pandemic, and the government has so far provided nearly 16 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories free of cost. And out of these, the total consumption, including wastage, is 14 crore 89 lakh 76,248 doses, and more than 1 crore COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. More than 57 lakh vaccine doses will be received in addition by the states and union territories within the next 3 days. It has been clarified that the total COVID vaccine doses received by Maharashtra as of the 28th of April 2021 are 1,58,62,470, and of this total, the consumption, including wastage, which is of 0.22%, was 1,53,56,151. So the balance is 5,06,319 vaccine doses still available with the state for administration to the eligible population groups. A further 5 lakh doses of COVID vaccine are in the pipeline for delivery in the next 3 days. Maharashtra has reported the highest daily new cases at 66,358. It is followed by Uttar Pradesh with 32,921, while Kerala reported 32,819 new cases. Maharashtra also saw the maximum casualties, 895, during the last 24 hours. International countries continue to extend their support to India, which is battling the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. In the latest, the Korean government today decided to provide urgent medical supplies to India to help save lives in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. India and Korea have been close partners for decades. Consultations are underway with the Indian side with regard to the specific medical items in need, including oxygen concentrators. The Korean government said it will continue to closely cooperate with India, its special strategic partner, in its fight against COVID-19. Singapore's minister in the Prime Minister's office there and the second Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Maliki Osman, and the Indian High Commissioner P. Kumaran flagged off a consignment of 256 oxygen cylinders from Singapore to support India's COVID-19 efforts. It is being flown out by 2 Republic of Singapore Air Force planes from Paya Lebar base. Singapore's diplomatic missions in New Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai in a tweet said that last year India helped the world and Singapore by exporting essential medicines and supplies. Now we stand with you as you fight COVID. Prime Minister of Canada Justin Trudeau said that Canada will contribute $10 million to the Indian Red Cross through the Red Cross of Canada. In a tweet, Trudeau said that right now the people of India are facing a tragic situation. To help with everything from ambulance services to buying personal protective equipment, PPEs, that is, we're contributing $10 million to the Indian Red Cross through the Red Cross of Canada, and we stand ready to donate extra medical supplies too, is what Trudeau tweeted. Meanwhile, as scores of countries across the world come forward to extend aid as the second surge of COVID-19 pandemic rages across India, the spokesperson of the Taiwan presidential office, Kolas Yotaka, took to Twitter to inform. Quote, "First shipment of oxygen generators from Taiwan to India is leaving this week. We are all in this together." The Indian Railways continues to provide a sigh of relief to the country amid the COVID-19 pandemic. To enhance the availability of oxygen in Uttar Pradesh, the 6th Oxygen Express has been sent from Lucknow to Bokaro. This train will load liquid medical oxygen from Bokaro to ensure adequate supply of oxygen in Lucknow. The Oxygen Express, carrying 6 oxygen tankers from Jharkhand's Bokaro, arrived at Mandi Deep railway station in Bhopal, and 2 tankers each were sent to Mandi Deep and Sagar and 1 tanker to Jabalpur. The DRDO is going to set up 500 medical oxygen plants within 3 months under the PM CARES Fund. The medical oxygen plant technology developed by the DRDO for onboard oxygen generation for the LCA Tejas will now help in fighting the current crisis of oxygen for COVID-19 patients. The oxygen plant is designed for a capacity of 1,000 liters per minute. The system can cater to 190 patients at a flow rate of 5 LPM and charge 195 cylinders per day. The hospitals will be able to generate on-site medical oxygen in a cost-effective manner with this oxygen plant rather than depending upon sourcing it from other places. The Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the signing and the ratification of an agreement between the Government of India and the Government of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland on customs cooperation and mutual administration assistance in customs matters. The agreement will help in the availability of relevant information for the prevention and investigation of customs offences. The agreement is also expected to facilitate trade and to ensure efficient clearance of goods traded between the countries. The agreement will be signed on behalf of the governments of the two countries after it is approved by the respective governments. This agreement shall enter into force from the first day of the month following the signature by the duly authorized representatives of both parties. Polling for the 8th and final phase of the West Bengal Assembly elections for 35 Assembly constituencies will be held tomorrow. As many as 84.77 lakh voters are eligible to decide the fate of 283 candidates. Polling will be held between 7 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. in 11,860 polling stations in the state. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has rolled out strict COVID protocols for the counting day of the elections held in 4 states and 1 union territory of Puducherry. As per the safety measures, no candidates or poll agents will be allowed inside the counting hall without undergoing RT-PCR or rapid antigen test. However, those who have been administered both the doses of COVID vaccination have been allowed. The Commission has prohibited public gathering outside the counting venue during the process of counting. As per the safety protocols, district election officers have been appointed as the nodal officer at each counting center to ensure adherence to COVID-19 related norms at the counting centers. A major earthquake measuring 6.4 on the Richter scale jolted the northeast of India this morning. The earthquake originated in Tezpur of Assam, and tremors were felt across Assam, North Bengal and other parts of the northeast. Let's look at this report.
A powerful earthquake measuring 6.5 on the Richter scale jolted Assam and other parts of northeast on Wednesday morning. 6 aftershocks were recorded in the hours after the first earthquake shook up the region. The earthquake originated in Tezpur of Assam, and tremors were felt even in North Bengal and other parts of the northeast. According to the National Center of Seismology, the earthquake measuring 6.4 on the Richter scale originated in Sonitpur, Tezpur of Assam. The first earthquake was recorded at 7:51 a.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to Assam Chief Minister. In a tweet, he said, spoke to Assam CM Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji regarding the earthquake in parts of the state. Assured all possible help from the centre. I pray for the well-being of the people of Assam. Union Home Minister Amit Shah also spoke to Sarbanand Sonowal to assess the condition in different parts of the state after an earthquake. In a tweet, he said, the central government stands firmly with our sisters and brothers of Assam, praying for everyone's safety and well-being. Union Minister for Development of Northeast Jitendra Singh said in a tweet, spoke to CM Assam Shri Sarbanand Sonowal ji just now. Parts of the state struck by an earthquake of significant scale. Luckily, no loss of life reported so far, only damage to some buildings. State administration closely monitoring and centre in close touch. Arunachal Pradesh also struck by earthquake of almost equal scale. Just now spoke to CM Shri Pema Khandu ji. No major loss of life or property reported so far. No loss to life has been reported so far, though people in the affected states were left shaken. Some living in damaged buildings had to shift out temporarily to remain safe.
इतना बड़ा जोरदार आया कि सब आदमी परेशान हो गया, ऊपर से नीचे तक आ गया, नीचे पैर रखना के भी मुश्किल हो गया, आदमी हिलने लगा है, तो हमको दूसरा आदमी पकड़ के रखा है, नहीं तो हम भी गिर जाता है।
बहुत जोर से आया, पहले तो सोचा था कि थोड़ा होगा चला जाएगा, लेकिन धीरे धीरे बहुत आके पूरा बिल्डिंग को हिला दिया। हम सब लोग बाहर दौड़ के भाग के चला आया। ऐसा पहली बार देखा है हम लोगों ने।
जैसे आया पूरा घर हिला दिया तो हम लोग सब दौड़ के नीचे आया है, आके देखा तो पूरा मतलब बहुत दिन का बाद में ऐसा बहुत बड़ा भूमिकंप आया, इसके लिए डर रहा है हम लोग।
रेस्टोरेंट में ही रहते थे तो थोड़ा टेबल शायद हिला, चाव का कप भी रखा था वहाँ पे, वो भी हिला। हाँ, ऊपर से गेस्ट है वो भी बोला।
There were 6 aftershocks following the first major earthquake, which were recorded over the next 2 hours 30 minutes in the vicinity of Sonatpur in Assam. An earthquake measuring 6.0 in magnitude also jolted Dhaka and several other parts of Bangladesh on Wednesday morning. The earthquake was felt at several places close to the epicenter. However, no report of damage to property or damage to life has been reported as yet from Bangladesh. With Rajesh Jha in Dhaka, Bureau Report, DD India.
The Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant today announced that the state will impose a 4-day lockdown from 7 p.m. on Thursday. The lockdown will be effective till the morning of the 3rd of May. All essential services, including grocery stores, will remain open during the lockdown period.
बढ़ते केसेस ध्यान में रखते हुए हम थर्सडे नाइट से मंडे मॉर्निंग तक स्टेट में लॉकडाउन घोषित कर रहे हैं और इसी में एसेंशियल सर्विसेज पूरे चालू रहेंगे, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट बंद रहेगा, इसमें इंडस्ट्रियल सर्विसेज चालू रहेंगे। जो एसेंशियल सर्विस में गवर्नमेंट में जो एसेंशियल लगते हैं वही ऑफिसेस चालू रहेंगे। इससे लेबर को पैनिक होने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है।
Karnataka has gone into a lockdown mode for 14 days from 10 a.m. today. Bangalore has shut down after the relaxation period of 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and except essential and emergency services, no movement of vehicles is allowed. Section 144 has been imposed. Yesterday, Karnataka reported more than 31,000 cases in 24 hours. Bangalore is the epicenter with the highest number of cases. The government has gone into action mode to strengthen medical infrastructure. This 14-day lockdown has been called a COVID curfew and is expected to break the transmission chain. The Army Chief, General M.M. Naravane, visited the forward areas of eastern Ladakh and reviewed the operational preparedness in the strategically key sectors. The Army Chief also interacted with the troops and complimented them for their steadfastness as well as high morale. The U.S. health regulators have announced that fully vaccinated people can safely engage in outdoor activities like walking and hiking without wearing masks, but they should continue to use face coverings in public spaces where they are required. The U.S. President sustained this announcement of the CDC on allowing the fully vaccinated people to safely engage in outdoor activities and small gatherings without wearing a mask, and President Biden lauded the advice as a direct result of steps that the country had taken in its fight against coronavirus.
Earlier today, the CDC made an important announcement. Starting today, if you're fully vaccinated and you're outdoors, you need, and not in a big crowd, you no longer need to wear a mask. I want to be absolutely clear. If you're in a crowd, like a stadium or at a conference or a concert, you still need to wear a mask, even if you're outside.
Well, on that note, we conclude this bulletin. And as the U.S. President said, you know, when you're outside, you still need to wear a mask. But we here are going to wear our masks indoors as well, because that's one way of containing the spread of this virus. Because you can come in touch with people who you're not usually in touch with, who might have, might be carriers of the virus. So it's always safe, even indoors, to wear your masks. And that's why we on DD News are continuing to do our bulletins as well with masks on. So Mask Up India, stay tuned to DD News. Namaskar.